You know that feeling when you buy a base model phone and constantly wonder if you should have just paid extra for the Pro? Well, after nearly a year, about 11 months of using this iPhone 17 in Lavender as my daily workhorse companion alongside the 17 Pro, I have to be completely honest with you guys. With the iPhone 18 launch right around the corner, my comment section is filled with people asking, is the 17 so good that I don't even need to care about the 18, or should I wait it out? Today, we're answering that once and for all. We'll look at my real-world battery degradation, daily performance, the camera, and whether the rumored iPhone 18 release schedule makes waiting actually worth it for you. To bridge back to when this phone first hit the market, it fundamentally broke Apple's usual release pattern. Historically, base model upgrades were small steps, but the 17, it felt like a massive leap. I've tested iPhones across generations, and I really think the iPhone 17 is the undisputed king of value. Apple gave this phone so much flagship DNA that it's tough to justify spending more unless you truly need niche pro tools. That's exactly why it crushed the charts in early 2026 as the world's best-selling phone. Let me show you exactly what changed the game, starting right here with the design and display. At first glance, if you look at the chassis, it shares a lot of DNA with the iPhone 16. You get the contoured edges that Apple introduced with the 15 series, which feels so much more comfortable in the palm compared to the sharp, boxy rails of the 13 and 14. You also still have the action button on the left and the camera control on the lower right rail. Honestly, the camera control is still more of a nice to have than an essential tool for my workflow, but it's there if you like quick physical shutter access. Where things get genuinely exciting though is the display. For years, sticking to a 60Hz panel on an $800 phone felt outdated, but the iPhone 17 finally brought ProMotion to the base model. We're talking a full 1Hz to 120Hz adaptive refresh rate, a slightly expanded 6.3-inch canvas, razor-thin bezels, and a peak outdoor brightness of 3000 nits. Putting this next to older 60Hz base iPhones, the difference is night and day. The responsiveness, the buttery animations, and the immersion just give it that flagship polish we've wanted for half a decade. On top of that, Apple upgraded the durability with Ceramic Shield 2 on the front, which noticeably cuts down on everyday micro scratches and surface glare, while strengthening the back glass to be up to 4 times more shatter resistant. And the cherry on top? Base storage finally jumped to 256 gigabytes out of the box, at that exact same predecessor starting price point. That alone fixes one of the biggest headaches for long-term buyers. Under the hood, the iPhone 17 runs on the A19 chip. Now, as many of you know from supply chain leaks, Apple's upcoming generations are preparing to transition to an entirely new 2nm architecture, but that actually makes the A19 special in its own right. It represents the pinnacle of Apple's refined 3nm process node. Apple has been working on 3nm silicon since the A17 Pro era, meaning the thermal dissipation and transistor efficiency on this chip are thoroughly dialed in. To give you some hard numbers, on Geekbench 6, this unit pulls around 3675 in single core and 9331 in multi-core, with a metal GPU score of 37707. In raw compute, this base model actually outscores last year's iPhone 16 Pro Max. In day-to-day use, handling heavy workload apps, multi-app multitasking, video editing, and photo editing, the phone stays remarkably cool. It doesn't exhibit the aggressive thermal throttling or uncomfortable warm spots that earlier 3nm chip iterations struggled with under sustained loads. Now, let's talk about battery endurance, because this is easily one of the biggest leaps on paper and in practice. Traditionally, generation over generation base iPhone battery improvements were incremental, maybe an extra hour or two of video playback. The iPhone 17, however, jumped from the iPhone 16's 22-hour rating all the way up to 30 hours of rated video playback. That's even higher than the larger iPhone 16 Plus was rated at 27 hours, all within a compact 6.3-inch form factor. That efficiency comes down to two things: the A19's chip architectural maturity and the ProMotion display being able to drop all the way down to 1 Hz when the screen is static. Here is my actual long-term data. After roughly 11 months of daily use and 270 charging cycles, my battery health is sitting at 94%. My daily routine usually starts at 8 a.m. at 100% between handling social media feeds, constant Slack and Docs messaging, casual YouTube streaming, and web browsing on Wi-Fi and 5G. I regularly make it to 11 p.m. with 15% to 20% battery remaining. Based on Apple's standard rating of retaining 80% health at 1000 complete cycles for newer generation batteries, this degradation curve puts the phone comfortably on track to last 3 to 4 years of regular daily driving before ever needing a battery replacement. Moving over to the camera module on the back. The primary shooter retains a proven 48 megapixel sensor with updated ISP pipeline tuning from the A19. Daylight shots are crisp, natural, and shutter lag is virtually non-existent. The bigger hardware story on the back is the upgraded 48 megapixel ultra-wide camera. Stepping up from the old 12 megapixel sensor, you get substantially cleaner details in landscape photography and significantly less edge distortion in lower light. Up front, Apple introduced a new 18 megapixel center stage square sensor. Because the sensor itself is square, you get this ultra wide field of view that can automatically reframe or capture landscape orientations without needing to physically tilt the phone sideways. Combined with the new dual capture feature, which lets you record from the front and rear camera simultaneously, it makes casual vlogging, family video calls, and quick social snippets super intuitive. To keep this review completely fair and balanced, there are still a few trade-offs you have to know about. First is the USB-C port transfer speed. While it uses the universal USB-C connector, data speeds on the base iPhone 17 remain capped at USB 2 speeds, which is 480 megabits per second, unlike the 10 gigabits per second USB 3 transfer speeds on the Pro line. If you transfer hundreds of gigabytes of raw video files to an external SSD daily over a cable, that's a limitation. But if you rely on AirDrop, cloud backups, and local Wi-Fi sync like most casual users, you won't even notice. Second, you don't get a dedicated telephoto optical lens, nor do you get professional capture formats like Apple Log or ProRes Video. If you're a professional mobile videographer, the Pro remains the tool for you. But for everyone else, the core imaging experience here covers 95% of everyday scenarios. So, what's the final verdict? If you're currently holding an older device like an iPhone 12, 13, 14, or even an iPhone 15 and wondering if the iPhone 17 is worth the jump, the answer is a resounding yes. Between the 120Hz ProMotion panel, 256GB base storage, 30-hour battery efficiency, and cooler thermal performance, this is arguably the most well-rounded base iPhone Apple has ever built. Now, what about the iPhone 18? Honestly, if you already own the iPhone 17, let me save you the stress and the money. You absolutely do not need to upgrade to the 18. In fact, you can comfortably skip the next few years. Because Apple finally gave the base model a 120Hz ProMotion display, 256GB of storage, and a hyper-efficient 3nm chip, the 17 is incredibly future-proof. You aren't going to feel like you're lacking or missing out on anything for a long time. And if you're currently holding an older phone and thinking about waiting for the 18, keep this in mind. Industry reports show Apple is likely delaying the base iPhone 18 launch until spring 2027. Plus, with rising component costs, that next baseline model is expected to see a price bump up to the $850 to $900 range. So whether you already have it in your pocket or you're buying it today, the iPhone 17 at its current price is genuinely one of the smartest hardware decisions you can make. Let me know in the comments below what phone are you currently daily driving. Drop a like if this helped you out, subscribe to the channel for more long-term tech breakdowns, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.